Okay, time for another video. Let's start with yesterday's trades and current positions. So it's been about a week since my last video, and I have closed some of my swings, and the market's been kind of weak, but most of my swings have actually held up really well, like CUTR, MYOC, LL, and ESIO. Like, I mean, these are just ultra strong, all of them. Like MYOK, it's just nuts, just won't go down. And what was the and CUTR. So I'm pretty happy about that. I think the only one I got stopped out of is GoPro, and it's been going down since, but all the other ones have held up. I did size down some LL and MYOK because I didn't want to have a lot of exposure in case the market would go down more, but so far we haven't. So let's see. I got stopped out of UCTT. Oh yeah, that's another one I got stopped out of. Didn't really go at all. BAS, I bottom fished this one. It's down like 50% in a couple of weeks. And a few days ago, oil bounced. I thought maybe BAS would bounce too, but didn't really bounce a lot. So I sized down by half into yesterday's weakness. I kept half just in case. Cyanide bought some yesterday. In hindsight, it wasn't really a good setup, and the market is still a little bit shaky, so I actually sold it before I got stopped out. Shop acted a bit better, so I kept this one. Also not really a super great setup, but I don't know, I just bought them anyways. PIRS, I first bought it in one account, got stopped out because it went red on a day, took out the lows of the day and went red, and then I got back in another account near the close because I like this one. I was long it here, had some good news. I sold on the way up, and I think I sold my last share somewhere here, so I had a nice little trade on it, and I like this one. Has a strong catalyst and can very easily keep going. Like last week, I missed this SGMO. I was trying to get it on dips on this day here. I was trying to get in a 920, I think, at 920, and the dip never came, and then it went up like 30% in a few sessions. Another biotech, small biotech with a strong catalyst. So my thinking is, I just don't wanna miss this PIRS too. So I was kind of aggressive on it, considering it's a very thin stock. Actually, it had some decent volume yesterday. I didn't see that. I thought, because this thing trades on average like 300,000-400,000 shares, but yesterday it traded quite a bit. Let's see. HMNY. Now this thing is very interesting. Very low float. They have a big offering, about 50% of shares outstanding. But once that is done, I think this thing could fly. Of course, the market needs to get better. The momentum needs to come back into the microcap space. But this thing could really fly. There's a Seeking Alpha on it for those of you who's interested more in the story. But basically, I really like their concept, and the fact that they got 150,000 subscribers in a week. I'm really dying for the next SEC filing to see how many subscribers they will have a few weeks or a few months from now. Because this thing, if the numbers are good, this thing could really fly. I can see this thing going to 10 or something very easily. Let's see. So GBTC, I've been short since this day here. when Bitcoin started violating some support levels, but the GBTC hasn't really broken down as much as Bitcoin has. I don't know where it is today yet. I haven't looked, but if Bitcoin starts, I think it's a 3,900 or 3,800 level, or maybe even the 4,000 level. I don't remember the levels right now, but if Bitcoin starts violating those levels, I'll add to this GBTC on the short side. I think this would very easily wash back to sub 600 in a few days once the selling comes in. Dry ships took some long out of the gate, tried to take out this little range here, and this is I think there were some Seeking Alpha articles on it that says the fair value on this thing is at, I think, at 5 or 6 or something. So but this is a super sketchy company. It doesn't have to get there ever. But I'm keeping it on watch because Trice has treated me very well since last fall. So, and it's a very liquid and it's big range. So it's been a great trading stock for me. So I'm keeping it on watch both ways actually. In a few days, probably it will be a better setup, both on the long and on the short side. Let's see, so PIRS I talked about. ARCI, I kind of screwed this one up. I took some long here, and I got stopped out here, and then I took some long here. Actually, no, wait. I had a stop here at 129, a buy stop after I got stopped out the first time. Then I left my home for like 10-15 minutes. I came back and the stop never triggered for some reason. It auto cancelled, so I didn't get filled. So I chased it up here, smaller size of course, and then it went higher, and then then it faded into the close or near the close. I was like, nah, I have a bad average. I'll sell it. I did sell some into the strength, so, and then I stopped out the rest for a tiny profit, and then now it looks like it's gapping quite a bit. We'll see. I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing at $2 today. So, yeah, I would probably be long decent size overnight if my platform had worked. But, so technical issues could cost me some money. And VXX, I shorted some into the close. I usually trade UVXY, but I didn't want to pay the borrow cost. So VXX was easy to borrow, so I did this one instead. Nothing big, and I made 1,000 or so on it. I covered before the close. I think I made like 1,500 on it. Quick little trade. So let's go through the watch list for today. I'm looking for FL, potential bounce. Ideal scenario would be a gap down and washout, maybe to like, I don't know, low 31s or even sub 30s. 31s would be great. Probably not going to happen. I'm probably not going to trade it if it gaps up. Or maybe I will. I'm just looking for some tight setup on intraday. I don't know. Probably not going to look at this one during the day for a bounce. Tesla looks like it gapping up with the market, so I'm taking it off the radar probably. I was hoping for a gap down. Tiva, I've been watching this for many weeks now, just stalking it. Hopefully it goes down more before any significant bounce. Tri-ships I talked about. Tops, I'm just gonna set the alert. This thing has toxic financing to just selling it like they used to do with dries, but these things can bounce sometimes, even with the selling. So, like dries did several times. Another one hugely beaten down over the years. I think it's down like 95% over a year and a half, and 80% or 70%, 80% in just a few weeks. So I could bounce. Look at the 60-minute chart. If you start taking out this 210, 215 area, could have a nice 50-cent bounce easily. And BITCF, actually looking at it on the long side, probably not gonna do it, but it looks kind of nice on the 60 minute. So this one actually triggered yesterday. I didn't buy it. I bought some other stuff instead. Recent IPO, this thing could go. I just didn't want to have more long exposure. JNUG. I'm just stalking these JNUG and Nugget. I'm probably gonna set alerts on them in case gold starts going crazy. You know, it's been building higher lows all year and it has a range here, and you know, who knows? Maybe it could do a run like it did last year. Who knows? Just stalking it. That was one of my biggest mistakes last year. I just totally ignored for the most part the Nugget and gold move. There were some insane trades in this thing, and I just don't want to miss it again. Another strong small biotech stock, stalking it. LL, I'm already long since the earnings day here. Hopefully in 3 to 5 days, when the 20-day moving average catches up, get a nice setup on the long side to add more. Sina failed, so FGen, another one with a strong catalyst. A lot of smart biotech people are very bullish on it, on the potential in this stock. Yeah, there's some. Yeah, I can't talk about all of them. It's gonna take too long. Short watch list. ARCI. Hopefully it will do a big push, gap up, big push for a short, or a weak open for a long. Yeah, well, I'm pretty much looking for gap up and push on all of these. Or most, and this one is actually a good looking long setup. I don't know why I have it on my short watch list. Not really super excited about any of these. Positions, let's see, did I miss any positions? Nope, I talked about all of them. And then Momo had some earnings. Looks like a good setup. I'm thinking about buying this thing. It's great earnings. The earnings beat could have been bigger. I traded it back here in March. Had a nice trade on it. Went up 50% from the earnings gapper. But again, the beat was much bigger back then. Now it's already a little bit extended, and so I'm not thinking. So I mean, if it can go to 50 or low mid 50s, that's a big move. That would be great. And the China stocks have been very strong during this sell-off. Haven't really affected the Chinese stocks at all. The sell-off we had past 2-3 weeks. Or not the sell-off, but the market weakness. BCUN, great earnings, great beat. Or actually they missed on their EPS, never mind. But said great earnings and gapping down. Anyhow, that's it for today.